Hi everyone, welcome to or welcome back to my channel. My name is Monzi, and per the title of today's video, I thought it would be really fun to explore some little free libraries. It is a gorgeous day outside, clear blue skies, the leaves are blooming, 70-degree weather. I can wear my favorite tank top and I just don't want to sit inside my house, so I thought it would be a great time to get outside and go check out some little free libraries. If you are unfamiliar with the concept of little free libraries, basically they are book sharing boxes that people build and then put in front of their homes, and then they register them on the Little Free Library app so people like me can go and visit them. Typically, I feel like the etiquette when you go and visit one of these is if you take a book out, you then have to put a book in of your own. I don't know if that's required, but that's what I always do when I visit them. So I have 6 books that I don't feel like I need to own anymore that I'm gonna put in little free libraries in exchange for getting some of my own if I find anything that I like. So I'm just gonna go over the 6 books that I've picked out really quickly, do a little bit of a mini unhaul, and then we can get going and visit some little libraries. The first book is Flowers for Algernon. I read it, I liked it, and I probably won't revisit it. The second book is The Diary of a Young Girl by Anne Frank. This is a very, very battered copy, but it's still readable. And again, I've read it. I don't think that I will reread it, so I'm ready to pass it off. Then I have The Maltese Falcon by Dashiell Hammett. I read this last month and reviewed it in my latest reading wrap up. I thought it was perfectly fine. Again, I don't think I'll ever read it again. I didn't love it, so I'm gonna get rid of it. Then I have Hopeless by Colleen Hoover. My boyfriend's sister gave this to me to read and I read it and it was fine, and I'm sure someone will be really excited to find this in a little free library. Then I have The Henna Artist. I read this. I thought it was fine. You know the drill. All right, and the last book I actually haven't read, but it's The Overstory by Richard Powers. And the only reason that I am okay with getting rid of this is because we have 2 copies in our house. I had my own copy, my boyfriend had his own copy coming into the relationship, and now we have 2 lying around, so I'm willing to give this one up because I've heard amazing things, so I'm sure someone will be really, really stoked to find this in the little library box. So given that I have 6 books to donate, I'm thinking of visiting up to 6 little libraries. I'm really curious to see how many books I'll end up picking, if any, because sometimes they're hit or miss, you know. Sometimes they have a lot of like James Patterson and Nora Roberts and just, you know, mass-produced books that I'm not really interested in reading. However, there is one little free library that I frequent because it's on my daily walk/run route. And every time I go to this little free library, they have a copy of The Starless Sea by Erin Morgenstern. And I always want to take it, but I never remember to bring a book to exchange it for. So fingers crossed that it's still in this little free library, and if not, whatever, but if so, that would be sick. Okay, let's just go. Let's just go. Okay, I was so excited to come to this first one because it's less than a minute drive away from my place, so I thought I could walk to it regularly. And alas, it no longer exists. So we're gonna have to find another one to go to. So that one had quite a few books that I found to be very interesting, or that I was very intrigued by, and I did end up picking one of them, which I will show you at the end when I go over all the books that I decided to take for myself, if there are even any more. But I kind of liked that one. I thought it was cute. I thought there was a variety of books. Well done, little free library. I ended up dropping off Flowers for Algernon and Diary of Anne Frank at that one. So in hindsight, those were two pretty heavy books, but it is what it is. They're both books that I feel like people know about and will be somewhat likely to pick up. We'll see. Something that I kind of want to do is go back to the little free libraries where I've dropped off books in the future and see if people have actually taken them out or if they're just sitting there. I feel like that would be interesting. Anyway, on to the next one. So I have been to two other little free libraries now. The first one had what appeared to be a yellow jacket on the inside, and I looked at the books that it had in there and there weren't any that piqued my interest, and I decided to not choose violence today. I was not about to expose myself to that kind of danger. So I came to this next one, which was a really great one. They had these cute little Empower Women stickers and just several books that I was very interested in. I ended up picking two of them, which I will again share later with you, and I dropped off the Henna Artist and the Maltese Falcon. I dropped off those two books. So I still have two more books that I would like to unhaul and get rid of, so we're gonna go to at least two more, I think, and then I'll probably wrap it up at that point, just because it is actually really, really hot and kind of difficult to film today, and my camera keeps dying because it's overheating. So I'm not gonna put it through that much more torture. I'm just gonna do two more little free libraries. They've all been within like a mile of one another, so I haven't been driving that much. Yeah, we'll probably call it after that. I'll show you what I ended up picking up, and that'll be that. So I ended up going to 3 more, not just 2 more, because I totally forgot that I wanted to end this whole trip by going to the library that I frequent and that I was hoping would have the Starless Sea. So the first one that I went to was pretty small. It was that white one. Didn't have much in it, and so I didn't even put anything in there or take anything out. And then I went to another one that was so cute. It was next to a community garden, so it shares a plot with this like cute little community garden, and had like a few decent books. It had a lot of cooking material, cooking books, cookbooks, if you will, and I really enjoyed visiting that one. And then I ended on the one that I usually pass by on my daily walk, and they did in fact have the Starless Sea, which I will get to, but I'm just gonna sum up all the books that I ended up picking out for myself, and then we will conclude this video. The first book that I ended up picking up is Why We Swim by Bonnie Sui. I don't know how to say that last name, but this one really stuck out to me for a couple of reasons. One, I'm not a swimmer, so I genuinely want to know, why do people swim? I want to understand that, because swimming is really hard in general, but it is particularly hard for me. So I'd love to know why people swim. But then also there are a few blurbs on the back of this book by authors that I'm really familiar with and respect, so I thought maybe this would be a good one and an interesting one to read. Christopher McDougall of Born to Run said, "Magnificent. Why We Swim had me nailed to the chair. I love this book." James Nestor, author of Deep and also author of Breath, which I haven't read but I own, said, "A sparkling example of, I can't resist it, immersive journalism. This is a jewel of a book, a paean to the wonders of water and our place within it." And then the last one, Rebecca Skloot, who wrote The Immortal Life of Henrietta Lacks, which I did read and love, says, "Takes us from the first record of swimming, which lies in the middle of a desert, to tales of vanishing aquatic societies, sea nomads, and much more. Bonnie Sui was born to write this book." What more can I say? I mean, those blurbs, the title, everything just really stood out to me, and I am really thrilled to have come across this, because I don't know that I would have ever just have gone to the library and picked this out on my own. So the beauty of the free little library is that it exposes you to all types of books and genres and whatnot that you probably wouldn't have been pulled towards on your own. I love that. So let me know if you read this. Then I picked up Alice Hoffman's Practical Magic. I mean, this is a classic. Everyone knows about this book, but I haven't read it and I really have wanted to. Obviously, I'm probably not going to pick this up anytime soon, but come Halloween time, come the fall, this is going to be such a nice one to have and to pick up, and I feel like it's going to be a pretty easy, fun, whimsical read. Next up, I decided to pick up When We Were Orphans by Kazuo Ishiguro. Oh my gosh, I just got scared by a couple that was just walking by me very casually. I am a very jumpy person, so it takes little for me to be startled. Anyway, When We Were Orphans by Kazuo Ishiguro. I have wanted to read a book by this author for quite some time, namely Never Let Me Go, I think is the title. I actually haven't heard of this book, When We Were Orphans, so I have no idea if it's good. I have no idea if it's something that I would like, but there was no harm in picking it up, and if I decide that I don't want to read it, then I can always unhaul it in a future video and drop it back off at the very same library that I picked it up from. So again, if you have read this and you know anything about it and you either liked or didn't like it, let me know. All right, and then obviously the fourth and final book that I picked up is The Starless Sea by Erin Morgenstern. I read The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern 3-4 years ago and really enjoyed it. It was such a vibey book, but with not very much plot, so I ended up giving it 4 out of 5 stars, but I had a really good time with it. And so ever since I read that, I've been wanting to read The Starless Sea because I know a lot of people like this book more than they liked The Night Circus. I was always super excited to see this in that little free library that I always pass by. And it's funny because this is definitely a library copy, and it's a library copy from King County, which is in Seattle. I know that because I lived in Seattle for almost a year and a half. So someone clearly forgot to return this to the actual library, like the brick and mortar library. And I think it's kind of funny that it ended up in this free little library. But The Starless Sea, very excited. I'm so glad no one else snatched this up in the few weeks that I have known that it existed in that little free library. It's mine now, so we love that. I am so glad that people have devoted their time and their resources into creating little free libraries so that everyone else can enjoy visiting them. I think that is so epic. I think that's so nice, so sweet, so wholesome. I love when I go on a walk and I don't even expect it and I stumble upon a little free library. It brings me so much joy. So thank you to everyone who has done their part to build one. I think that's amazing. I think that's incredible. And your hard work doesn't go unnoticed. I am majorly sweating. I had to film this without my AC because otherwise the noise would interfere with my talking way too much. So I am sweating bullets, let me tell you. So I'm gonna end the video now. And I just wanna say thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. Go download the little free library app yourself and have some fun on your own because it is a treat. Thank you for watching. I love you. Bye.